to Canal Sidings for video number 11. Got something slightly different for you this time, as we will be able to run the car system, and we'll also have a little bit of a mini running session. So without further ado, let's get on with the progress that I've made so far and show you where we're going. Well, here we are back at the layout, and I've got the camera necessarily in a very odd position. The tripod is standing on the layout, and that's what you can see here and probably here. And I've had to do that because my tripod's not tall enough to get it that far above the layout, and then be able to show you the whole of the length that I've been working on, which runs from right up here all the way to up here. So what we've got here is almost what you saw last time, where I've taken the cork out where the road bed has got to go. I have already cut this end out now where the vehicles are going to go through to the reversing loop, and I've cut these lines to precisely now where I want the outline of the building to be, and same here, and this will be the arch. The turntable is fixed in position. I've adjusted all the tracks for their right heights, and I have taken a little bit more out here and there. I've taken some more cork out just there, and then I realised I didn't need to take the cork out. What I needed to do was cut back the sleepers, so all the way along here I have cut back the sleepers. And what I need to do is to create a piece of plastic card for the road bed, which brings me up to the right height, which is the same height as this piece here, which is just below rail level. And I also need to make sure that the cork is underneath it. I could cut that cork away, but I can't cut it away completely whatever I do. So I decided to leave it as it is, because if I go too close to the track I run the risk of lifting it. So what I've produced is a composite piece of plastic card, which I'll show you in a minute, but I'll explain it first because it is a bit complicated. It actually consists of 3 thicknesses of plastic card. The first thickness runs all the way from here right the way through to the end here, and up all the little branches, and is 60 thou thick, which is pretty much the same thickness as that cork. And that runs up to the cork in every position. The next layer of plastic card is 2 millimeters thick, or 80 thou, and that sits on top of the cork up against the sleepers here, and again all round everywhere you can see, and up to the same point. And the last layer is 20 thou, which sits across the top of the ends of the sleepers up against the rail, and is the black layer. The 2 bottom layers are white. It's made up out of lots of bits and pieces. I've tried to be economical with the use of the plastic card. The 20 thou I've got lots of in black, so that's made up out of larger sheets, but the others are made up out of bits and pieces that fitted into the spaces. So I'll go and get that now, and we can have a look at what size it is. Excuse me. So here is the piece of plastic card that, the composite piece of plastic card that I've constructed. You can see the turntable goes in there, this goes into that hole, and this is where what I just said finishes. After that it varies very slightly, because I then need to bring the height of this, which I hope you can see in the video, down to the original 2 millimeter height that is on the other baseboard. This is almost 4 millimeters high, so I've had to come down 2 millimeters. So what I've done is, I have no idea whether I can show you this, but what I've actually done is I have fixed that at a slight angle there, and it runs down, and by the time it gets here it's on the baseboard. It's a very shallow slope for the vehicles to go up and down. This actually now fits in here, and it has to be fitted by going through the end there, up up against the rail there, pop it down round the turntable, and it pops down round the cork, pop it down round that cork, and that edge now sits on the baseboard. I think you can see that edge in the video. Yes, you can just. And these cutouts allow the viaduct to go back. And that is all sitting there. And as you can see, if I use my pointer, I'm now lost a little bit of canal. Finger. That allowed me to get this roadway here a little wider, and means that it's going to be much easier to work out the exact direction that the vehicles run in and out of this end. Okay, the next thing I'll get is the viaduct, and we'll drop that into place. Just light it up right up the back there, and it should drop in here, which it has. It's now fitted into the space. It doesn't move, it'll rock, but it doesn't actually move around. So there we are. I've still got this side to do, which I haven't done yet. I have another piece of plastic here which belongs there, which obviously has to be cut to go round the rails, but it's the last piece of the circle that runs around it. And also I need to put some check rails in here and build this up like this. So that's ready for that, and then we can cut the slots, or the slot for the vehicles, which has got to run through there. And as you can see, if I put a typical vehicle on there and run it through there, you can see that it needs to run on the track a little. You can see there's, if you can see that, the vehicle is actually over the track, and I then want to bring it back over here, so if there are any wagons here that I can run round them. And also there's a possibility of putting a stop point here, so you can actually hold a vehicle there as if it was being loaded, unloaded, driver asking directions, whatever, just to try and add more interest and not just have vehicles run backwards and forwards all the time, apparently aimlessly. The gated siding, the gate for the siding, for this siding, is going around about, and I can never work it out exactly because I've got a mark on the baseboard that I haven't transferred up here, but I think it's about there, and we'll swing all the way round to there to allow the vehicles in. And then I'm going to build a fence here and a fence down that side to the gate, and also from this side of the gate I'm going to run the fence along here to dissuade vehicle drivers from trying to bounce over the track. Lorry drivers are quite prepared to take their vehicles anywhere, I've realised. Okay, so that's as far as I've got. When I've done some more, I'll come back again. Hello again everybody, I'm back again, and we have a slightly different view now. I'm hand holding the camera, and as you can see, the whole layout is now back together for the first time since video number 1 back in May. I have actually finished making the roadbed, which we will look at down here. I've made the return piece for that end, and I've built all of the roadbed along here, under the bridge, and all the way along here, right the way through to the other end and onto the other reversing loop that was there. What I thought we'd do now, rather than me yap all the time, is just have a few minutes talk about the roadbed and then go for a mini operating session, the first one ever on Canal Sidings. It will be very mini because, as I've said many times, I don't have the right couplings on any of my stock yet, and most of the stock doesn't have the right wheels, so therefore I won't be able to do real shunting, but we can have a vehicle moving up and down, and I can shift the camera angle backwards and forwards to watch that vehicle, and we can have a train moving in the background. But first of all, we'll start up this end, and as you can see, I have now got the wire in the roadbed, and it deviates there to go under the arch, comes out from the other side there, goes through the gate, which will be around about here, and then comes towards the front of the layout along here, and then runs pretty much straight all the way along the front into the reversing loop at the other end. What I want to do here, where I've parked these vehicles, is actually produce a couple of loops, one on each side, where I can park vehicles, and they will be controlled by the random stroke automatic vehicle system controller, which of course isn't built yet, but it means a couple of loops there so that you can actually leave a vehicle parked and move other vehicles through between them. So there's a lot more to do on it, but I'm still thinking about exactly how it's all going to work. So what I'll do is I'll get a vehicle running, and we'll run that train there, best one I can do, backwards and forwards, and have a little bit of movement for a change. So back in a tick. Okay everyone, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, something a little bit different. Please subscribe, give me a like, post me some comments, and I'll see you when the next video comes along in 2 or 3 weeks' time. Bye!